In 1979, playwright Tennessee Williams visited Pittsburgh to give a poetry reading for 2,000 people at Carnegie Music Hall. Within a week, there were 5 reviews and recaps of the readings in local papers, giving radically different interpretations of the event. One review said the author of A Streetcar Named Desire was brilliant, as good a poet as a playwright, and it felt as if he had invited the audience into his house for a julep. Another review said Williams bombed, that his talents were exclusively that of a playwright. From the perspective of literary history, the strangest thing about this event was that a poetry reading should be reviewed at all. This may not be obvious, but this is one of the rarest subgenres of writing in American history. We know this because in 1993, the U.S. Poet Laureate presented at the Library of Congress an analysis of publication trends in the 20th century. She concluded that newspapers that regularly reviewed poetry books were fairly rare, but no city in the country had a history of reviewing poetry readings. Not New York, not San Francisco, but just one exception, Pittsburgh. This tradition dates back to 1966, where the International Poetry Forum's founder encouraged local newspapers to review readings, trying to see them as the same kind of thing of going to the symphony or the cinema. And today, if you look through archives like newspaper.com, you can see Pittsburgh has hundreds of reviews for the International Poetry Forum and other literary organizations in town. The phrase poetry is dead is something people have been saying for thousands of years, but it's still the case that readings here draw hundreds, sometimes over 1,000 people. The fact that Pittsburghers take to the newspapers to talk about this is incredible. Over the last 60 years, there's no other city that's been as committed to talking about poetry in public venues like the newspaper. I love hearing stories of rich literary cultures in smaller cities. So 2 questions. First, if your city has a strong culture of poetry readings, let us know what it's like. And 2, let us know if you've read any of Tennessee Williams' poetry and which newspaper reviewer you agree with.